selection of promising projects for the regional expo. So first, it's important then for me to say, as a committee, as a group of volunteers, and with, of course, the provincial coordinator, we want to acknowledge your hard work, your curiosity, your dedication, all that you've put into your work thus far. From the time you started the idea, all that you could demonstrate. Your projects were selected with that potential. And I also just want to acknowledge the educators and mentors that have given continued guidance and support. Some of you are now at this point just really having your learners in your classes if you are educators, and we really don't take that for easy that you've done all that you have done to support the learners developing their projects. Today's session is really about strengthening all of that work, refining it, upgrading it, taking good advice from what is going to be presented here. And with those words, I actually also want to just thank Ms. Olga Pill, that's going to lead the session, in all the support that we are continuing to try and give. One of the things that I really want to encourage also as we do this upgrade, and even with your mentors, it's very important for a learner who does this work to be open to what is going to be corrected, feedback and all that you're getting from your mentors and so on. And so take heed of that. The journey is, we're still strengthening this work. And it's important at this platform and also when you engage with your mentors to ask questions boldly and to continue just that curiosity that you have. Hopefully all of this work, all this collective work would strengthen your project, and we're hoping to see it in the regionals. Thank you very much. Over to you, Olga.
District Expo was very much a learning experience. We're now looking at a more competitive experience, and that is why we're having this upgrade for you and for everybody in the Western Cape. Okay, so what is that expo project that you've been doing? So this is what you're going to have by August. A report, a journal, which of course you started a long time ago, a poster, which you didn't necessarily have for the District Expo, but now you want it for the regional. Everybody must have one. And then in a separate expo folder, please do this, everybody. No. Okay, so let's have a look at an actual expo project. Let's have a look at the details. Right, now let's take a step back to January. Now there's also the expo category. You can't make changes later. You can't come to us at expo and say, I forgot I'm in the wrong category. That doesn't happen anymore. Special information that teachers and learners need to know. Look at today. So I'm going to talk, then I want you to have all your documents out. Right, so the very first thing I'm going to look at is the journal. Now, the research plan. Right, linked to the research plan. What we've got here, now the big one, the most important part of your project is the report. Now, the poster. So let's have a look at that poster. Okay, let's have a look. Here's the actual design. Please only bring press stick, no glue. Now there's a new document. I don't think anybody had an abstract. Right, now let's just have a look at a poster from a few years ago. Nadia did this poster, and funnily enough, Nadia is now a judge. So sometimes people go, they enter Expo, they leave school, they get their degree or degrees, and then one day they phone us and say, we want to be involved in again. And you might even meet Nadia this year. So there's a typical poster. Okay, a couple of years ago, these guys, remember 1 or 2, wearing their lanyards. That's what I'm showing you in this slide. They're wearing their lanyards. They've put their poster up. They've used the space nicely for their project. Okay, and on the table, you can't see all of it, are their documents. And the big thing, of course, is sometimes the judges have 2 of you to talk to. Now, everybody, if you are working in a pair, you must both of you be able to say everything about your project. Don't think that you only need to know 50% of your project. You both need to know everything. Because the judge might go to you, say, tell me about your results. And the judge might then turn to the other partner and say, okay, what's your conclusion? Now, if you haven't done that work together, it looks like one of you did all the work. So please be very, very, very careful when preparing for the expo if there are 2 of you. Okay, here's just one showing you the title right under the Eskom Expo logo. And those little bubbles that they put on, they put something, spherification of liquids. So spheres, circular things. So they put a couple of bubbles on just to make the poster attractive. It isn't necessary. You can do it, however. Okay. Here's another one beautifully. There's the Expo logo. Next to it is the project number. There was no interruption with that, and all her poster pages are on the poster, and look how beautifully her 3 sets of documents are on the table, all with the same theme. So this is how we get a good looking project. Now, if you're really proud of your project, of course, you want to have a good looking project as well. You can have a small tabletop model. Okay. Preferably not in front of any poster pages, so that the judges can see everything in one go. Right, now, computer science projects only. Computer science projects, you will get access to electricity so that you can run your laptop to show your coding and your programming and so on. Nobody else at Expo will get access to electricity. Okay, so what do you bring to Expo? Right, it gives me great pleasure to ask Thomas, the Regional Science Fair Director of Cape Town Expo, to come back and to go through this slide with you. Thank you, Thomas.
Thanks, Olga. Thanks. We'll just quickly talk to what's coming up and just some important dates for all of our everybody, in fact, even the learners and the teachers that are supporting the learners with this. And also, if, for example, you're just working with a mentor, it's important then to adhere to all of this. Remember, this journey is to strengthen your project, all of the work that you've done, and make sure that as term 3 starts, what's really great about the resources that we have, it explains clearly how to go about doing an abstract. There's great advice on every aspect of the project. I would use that, both of the national website, which is Expo Science, and also Cape Town Expo. And I mean, on Facebook as well, there's a whole lot of links to resources and so on. It's very important to use those and make sure that you've looked at those templates. You've looked at the project guidebook that was also alluded to earlier on. The interaction with the judges, engaging with them. Remember, those guys would be officials that would just like to hear about the work you've done. It's important when you've done something and you find someone who's really interested in what you've done, how you've come up with the idea, what you did in your execution. And
interview day at Expo are on the 19th of August. The 18th is the day you put your project up at the sports center. And then the 19th in the afternoon and late afternoon, you will be interviewed by the judges. Please don't prepare a speech because this is not a speech competition. So think of all the questions you might be asked. That is why you need to finish printing long before the 18th, okay? You and sit with your partner, sit with your friends. They ask you questions, and you think of other questions the judges might ask, and you have the answers ready for them. That is how you prepare for the interviews, okay? And on the interview day, the 19th, you are going to be dressed very, very smartly, please, okay? You are going to be in your full uniform. And the idea is the judges will also come and talk to you. It's a very formal process. Okay, at the expo, there are 3 groups of adults who are likely to come to talk to you. There's the project approval team, there's the medal judges, and then there's the special awards judges. Now, every project will get a project approval person. They will get 2 medal judges. They might get special award judges. Okay, let's go. Right. So because Expo is a competition, the regional Expo is now a competition. There are some rules. You must wear your Expo lanyard. You're going to be given it on the 18th. Whether you come or your teacher comes or your partner comes, they're going to bring you a lanyard. And you won't be able to come in unless you've got the lanyard on the 19th. Okay, so the date is the 19th. That is when you come back. You will get interviewed. Obviously, the program will be sent to your teacher, and your teacher will send it to you, so you know when you have to be at Expo. This is what Cape Town Expo looks like. Okay, now project approval. Monday the 18th. You've put your project up. You come up in the afternoon, times to be confirmed. You put your project up, and the first thing you do is you go and get a member of the project approval team to approve your project for judging. Okay, you can't take anything extra to Expo. You can't take plants and animals and microorganisms and agar plates or chemicals. Even water's not allowed on the project table. No dangerous items. If they find them while doing this checklist, they will actually remove them. Now, how the judges assess the projects. Right, this is what they... Right, now, there are many templates. A template is the Word document with the headings and some instructions that you can type into. So please make sure that you've got or you will be getting the research plan template. Afternoon, and I hope that if you need to work in the holidays, if you're not going away, and then you've got a few weeks next term to get your project ready.